Y'all ready for this? Hey! Hey!
I think the next song we're gonna sing is shots.
Everybody.
Sorry, Tegan, no shots for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Charmed to Disarmed. Your hosts Andrew Carroll, Cody Breckenridge, and Kayla Breckenridge. And introduce yourself, young lady.
My name is Tegan.
Louder!
My name is Tegan Breckenridge.
Tell them right here, baby.
Look up.
Look how beautiful you are. Tell the people who you are.
I'm Tegan.
Tegan Breckenridge of Tigitron on the Instagram, correct?
Tegan Breckenridge.
Okay.
Tigitron's your YouTube channel, huh?
Oh, the YouTube channel.
Right.
All one word.
Yeah.
All one word.
Breckenridge.
So, we just got done doing another round of yoga for me, where I was laughed at and belittled. Not at all. I'm totally kidding. No, they're very, very patient with my immobile body. And Kayla, you designed another fantastic routine that
Thank
is
you.
going to add benefit to what I'm doing outside of the yoga mat. Can you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on here?
So today I did a class that was focused on the solar plexus, the chakra that's right below your sternum, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Your ribs.
right, yeah. So this chakra is the city of jewels, and it helps.
The City of Jewels, I love that. You were reading that
Yeah.
about it.
Right.
The City of Jewels.
Yeah, City of Jewels symbolizes how we manifest ourselves in the world, how we ignite our inner fire. So we did a flow focused on that, focused on shining our solar plexus, being aware of it.
So what lights your inner fire, Kayla? How do you manifest yourself in the world?
I mean, love and passion and spreading kindness.
Those are very good things. So what actions do you take on a daily basis with Cody here and through your yoga practice specifically?
Well, I think what's really important is taking time for yourself. And I've learned this more recently, but taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others. For so long I put everyone before myself because I'm a people pleaser. I want to take care of people. I want to help people. But when you do that, you kind of lose yourself a little bit.
You absolutely do. And you guys have a pretty busy schedule. I know you work, Cody works, you homeschool, Tegan's in dance, Henry is a handful and absolutely fantastic. So what have you guys done to find the balance so that you can take care of yourself?
Well, sometimes you have to set your alarm 30 minutes before you normally would.
That's a very good strategy.
I mean, I don't always do it, but
Or just threaten the kids their life or don't leave you alone while you work
lock
out.
yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes.
You still see fingers wiggling under the door,
can,
right?
but-
Oh yeah, that's so friggin' so funny. That's so true. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
yeah, if you do it, you have to.
Absolutely.
But how do we do that though? Like, I make sure I get my gym time at work.
Yes, you do.
Right? And so sometimes it's like, I go to work after 3:30, but it's like kind of cutting close to like the handoff we do because she works at, we both work, but I work in the
go
day.
to school.
And she goes to school and works at night.
Yes.
So there's always this middle of the day we do the handoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we have
Say
an
bye-bye.
hour. We might have an hour or two, but sometimes my gym time can cut into that a little bit. But she knows that I need to do that for me.
Right.
And then you're pretty good about. We kind of self-motivate ourselves. Like she's self-motivated to take care of herself. I'm self-motivated to take care of myself. But what's interesting is I see when she does that motivates me. Like if I wanted to skip a workout day and she was talking about how she had an awesome yoga practice or went and crushed it at the gym, I'm like, all right, I'm going to the gym now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I just learned this. I know you guys have been together for a little while, but how long have you been married coming up now?
It'll be 12 years this year.
12 years, and I'm not even kidding. They act like newlyweds every time I see them, and that.
Not earlier today, we didn't.
That's all part of it, right?
Right.
That's all
Well,
part
we
of
talk about
it.
it later.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good conversation, actually. Like the things we go through.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's highs and lows, right? Like you mentioned the other day on the phone. That's so sweet of you to say. When we do have that, like our fires that hasn't like sustained or like gone down a little bit. Our fires actually turned to a bonfire.
Well,
Absolutely.
we're happier than we've been.
But you have these times where you're stressed, and with mindfulness, it's helpful. But sometimes you're so out of your comfort zone in ways that's hard to explain that it just makes you feel like on edge. And like I can sit and watch it and be mindful of it, but God, sometimes it's hard not to just be like irritated and like especially like
I yelled at him this morning. I don't yell.
What did you do?
He
Oh,
was
I'm sure I did something, but
no.
oh, thank you.
So
Cheers. Is this for? Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you. I love it.
We were getting Tegan ready to go to her first dance competition.
Right.
I don't know how to wear makeup or do makeup. Like
do good. Look good.
She
I
still
wear
has it on.
I wear
it
mascara
looks
and that's
tasteful
it.
and fantastic.
So I've been stressing about doing her makeup all week.
And she was not very nice about. She was not very gracious this morning either.
Tegan wasn't being.
So she was hard to work with. Not only did she do a good job, it was like trying to make a bulldog look pretty. Because it wouldn't hold still, not because she wouldn't hold still and stop crying and like.
And so I finally
can't imagine doing eye makeup
Oh my
with
God.
tears rolling down her face.
And she
Right.
imagine
And so I get it done. I get everything done.
you're so spot on.
And Tegan said something snarky, and Cody starts going, nee, 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 nee. And I said, Cody!
Don't!
I was like,
And it wasn't because of the mocking, it was because she did not want her to cry.
I didn't want
she
her to
worked
cry.
so hard on makeup.
Like, I worked so hard.
I don't think I mocked her at all this morning, actually. I did I really?
You were doing your thing where you're about to mock her.
No.
That's laughing because I know exactly what you're talking
But
about.
that's when you yelled at me,
He
right?
starts
Yes,
getting
yeah.
smart about something.
I know. I'm like,
Listen,
excuse me.
I gotta jump in here because that moment you're talking about was the moment you yelled at me, right?
Yes.
Well, I was actually about to mock, but I was about to mock myself because it was 8:30 in the morning, and only thing I said to her this morning was about her being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? You know, when you're disrespectful to a parent, you gotta back the parent up. And I was kind at first, but when it comes to the disrespect, and I keep nicely asking, and nicely asking, and nicely asking, then you kind of gotta like, hey, dude, what are you doing? You don't yell and scream and hip. You gotta kind of like say, hey, what are you doing? You have to get a little stern, right? And her point was, it was making her cry. I didn't know that, and once I realized it, I shut up about it. But she wasn't getting mad at me about being stern.
No.
It was because the tears were starting to roll, and I was down here, they're there, so I don't see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, time out. We need to make an adjustment because we're all looking back at you. So scoot
know.
up here. It's better.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be better. We get in
Yeah,
here.
you should
Sit
be
on
looking back at me.
our lap. Sit on our lap. There we
Actually,
go.
stop talking.
Yeah, this is the Kayla show today.
Get in.
No.
Get in.
I'm like sweaty. It's hot
I
in
am
here.
sure it was
It's so hot.
his dad turned the heater up like one
To
of those-
set, it was like 69. It's really hot
That's
in
too hot
here.
for me. Like mine only goes up to 65 in my
Yeah.
house. That's too much.
So, anyways, we were talking about, you know, us being married so long and keeping that fire burning and stuff. But I wanted to point out we're not perfect. Like, I was thinking about this in the drive. Like, we can all be mindful and stuff. We can all meditate and whatnot. But until you're really ready to fully let go, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to always get hung up on these little things that like just rub you the wrong way, and you have to just decide how far down the road you're going to take it with your reactions to it, right?
Absolutely.
But what you do to recover from that kind of stuff, like after you nailed it though. You're like, you know what? Maybe if we just do a yoga practice, we'll get in a better headspace than we did actually.
I didn't want to. We came home and I didn't.
It was bad energy when we
Want
got
to
home.
do
dude, I'm telling
anything.
you.
Just
Right now, before I got here.
yeah. Well, because
Not like right before, but like when we got home, then we picked the house up and stuff, and we got. But my point was, we came home kind of having this tension, right?
Because we were at a dance competition. Like,
go ahead, tell them about that. Man.
It's just, it's
awesome. It was awesome.
It was awesome, but it's
man.
also like nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because you have all these high-strung parents, like.
I wouldn't, that's not was my perception. My perception was more like this. For me, I can see where you're. I wasn't picking that up, but for me, it's like you're in this auditorium, okay?
You have a 3-year-old spider band.
It was like 3 hours of dancing, one act after the other. Here's the hard part. You could just go sit there for 3 hours, but it's tough.
No, we were there from 9 until 2.
You got to move around sometimes, and sometimes it's awkward moving around the auditorium when people are trying to take pictures and get videos. It's like it's so hard to maneuver.
Trying not to be in the way.
That's the nerve-wracking part.
And then you have a 3-year-old who.
Well, Henry.
Wants.
We did a great job. I played with him.
Did.
Here's the thing. We still were graceful through the chaos. That's one of her favorite mottos. To be graceful through the chaos, right? And we didn't lose our shit. You know what I mean?
Well, and even like your dad said at one point, he's like, you guys are like, it's really great to have active parents because you can like run and play with your kids.
Yeah.
Like you're not just sitting back watching them play. You're interacting and like building that relationship with them and like having fun with them.
It's so important to play with your kids.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're just talking about, and that's one of the biggest reasons that I started trying to be healthier and be more fit was when my girls were born. I didn't want to miss out on that stuff, and they love it when I go play on the playground in monkey bars with them and jump through stuff, and like I can still my 9-year-old's probably like 60 pounds, 70 pounds or something. I'll still throw her 10 feet above my head, and she loves it. And the joy on her face makes all the pain in the gym worthwhile, because there's nobody else in her life that can do that.
It does that,
Even people play with her and stuff, but I'm her
You're
dad.
like Thanos,
right?
dude.
Yeah.
You're like literally a million times stronger than she is.
It's true, dude.
One of my.
I was joking around with Tegan one time. I said, "Do you realize I could literally punch you and your head would fall off?" Right?
Yeah.
We'll joke around morbid like that. It's fun. It's fun.
One of my favorite memories as a girl, I just recreated the other day. But my dad had this bucket, like a tub.
Gosh.
Okay.
And my sister and I were 2 years apart. And so he would put us, one of us at a time, in the tub and do the bucket dance. Like, carry us around in the bucket and, like, carry us around the house and, like, lift us up. And we're probably, like, 7 and 9. And he's still, like, carrying us around in this bucket. And so the other day we had a huge bin, and I put the kids in the bucket, and I did the bucket dance. And I sent my dad a picture.
And they loved it, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's one of the things that I cherish about my childhood. Because
That's awesome.
my dad was, like, there in it, not
an
sitting
observer.
back watching,
Waiting until you get to high school playing sports to start interacting and telling you you're not good enough.
Yeah.
See that, parents out there? You need to calm down.
Yeah.
So, I love your guys' kids. And when I got here, Henry saw me and he got super excited. He like came and sat in my lap and he was like,
he was so stoked.
That made me so happy. The joy that I feel when like kids are amazing. And they're just so innocent and pure, and you and I and all of us have a responsibility to facilitate that for as long as possible. So
come on.
Seriously, like that's probably the thing I'm most passionate about, is giving kids the free reign and space to be kids, and as adults we need to facilitate and foster that as much as possible in a safe space. So, and you guys are doing that, and I love it.
We do, but also I found myself like at the dance competition, they're doing awards and Henry's up on the stage just running around. Like,
she's about to get honest right now. This is good.
It's hard for me because I don't know. I just get anxiety. I'm like, what? He's not supposed to be doing that. Like everyone's observing that. Dude,
I'm sitting there. I'm like, wait, Kayla. I'm trying to signal her. I'm like, what are you doing? Just come sit down. Like it was this thing where they had a big dance part at the end, and they said, parents, grandparents, come up here.
It was after that, though.
It's their fault for inviting Spider-Man up on the stage.
That's
Because once he was up there,
This
he
is true.
wasn't.
You don't invite
That's all-
Spider-Man unless you want to
Like
party.
you said about kids have to be kids. If you expect a 3-year-old after you have a dance party on the stage, you want him to get off the stage.
I know, and I realized that. Like
You do that at the end.
So you said, but it's not like it wasn't some like formal thing where like there was like a.
It wasn't.
They're all kind of hanging out there, sitting in a big group of people.
I know.
So it wasn't a big deal. And she's like, I'm like,
Of course, and
I
then
finally got her to come sit down.
I finally relaxed and like let it happen. But I'm like, what? Are people mad that
It's like
he's
the
up
parent,
there?
it's that parent instinct, that parent identity that starts taking over your
I
freaking
know.
mind, dude.
Well, I think no matter how much we let go of our ego and
Right, like
certain
what are other
things,
people thinking?
You do as a parent. I find one of the things I have to catch myself most about when I have my kids and we're out is when my girls and my son start acting like kids and we're in public and at first I'm like, maybe we
Right.
shouldn't do that. And I'm like, you know what? Screw everybody
Yeah,
else.
it's
Like
a kid.
they're not
cares?
hurting anything. And let
Like-
someone
Yeah.
come tell Big Papa
Yeah,
my babies
right.
can't
Yeah,
do
we'll talk
something.
about it.
What?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So I completely understand the feeling you're talking about because, and Utah is pretty cool, but there are some super unhappy and judgmental people in this
Yes.
state. And they will look at you in a fashion that makes you want to punch them. And for nothing. You know, like your kids are just being kids. I'm sorry you're repressed and miserable. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
So I totally get where you're coming from there.
But I let go of it and relaxed.
Yeah, but it's a fine line. Like you like. Well, I just was reading the situation like it's fine.
Yeah.
So I didn't, and like you said, if somebody really has a problem with it and they want to talk about it, I'm be like, there was 8 other kids over there.
I
It was a
know.
huge stage.
It
was a
was.
big auditorium.
Yeah.
Everybody was sitting there. They're all just kind of sitting down Indian style in their little groups. It wasn't anything formal like tuxedos and like where Henry's running around. Like, can you imagine Henry, Spider-Man running around the Emmys just backstage?
Which
We're back in the green room.
adorable.
Like, we're back in the green room. Oh, we're letting our kids be kids.
We're gonna call this right now 5 years away from getting an invite to that. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Are we
Invite to
down?
what?
The Emmys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll be there.
Yeah. We're getting it. We're getting this. We're
Kayla
getting
the unicorn.
It's the Drunicorn first of all.
Drunicorn.
And you
Did
cannot
you just come up with that?
No, that's part of my little branding, but
Oh wow.
it's fantastic, right?
That was great.
That is spectacular. Unicorn. Oh, I love it. Can you imagine the kind of cool graphics we could design? No, I'm just picturing a centaur. You know, like where it's like horse
Like
body
this
and
one?
and like yes, we have a big freaking unicorn horn, big rainbows and shit.
I love it. So
Unicorns are big around here.
So that like you guys had a lot going on today, and you still graciously asked me to come over. And I tried to meet you at Lucky Slice, but that you weren't there,
Dude. Yeah,
because there was a brief mention of maybe we'll meet at Lucky Slice, and I just latched onto that because
Yeah.
pizza and beer.
I want to.
Yes,
I want to go to that.
I want to
be in that
I want to
place.
go to there.
That was funny. Yeah, because we were talking about the gym, weren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
We're
Because
the gym, we're
I
bullshitting.
text you, and I'm like, I'm here, and like 5 minutes later, you're like, come in. He's like, and I'm sitting at a table at
That's so
Lucky
true.
Slice, looking around like,
Yep.
I am.
Well,
I am the inside now.
I am in the end.
Well, and so from the opposite perspective, I'm looking at my phone going, I'm here. Well, what are you doing sitting outside in the street in your car? Just come inside my house.
It was funny, and I look like a weirdo because I carried in my big tripod and my little case, and like,
No, you're perfectly
I
dressed
started
for it.
setting up. Yeah, right.
These are sweet. I want a pair of these. What are those?
I
Dude,
want
they're
some
just
of
like
those.
they're
Joggers.
They're
You have
joggers.
some
But those are
right
big.
now.
Yeah, but these are different.
I got them.
They're sweet.
I got these at like Ross or something, man. Like you gotta.
Ross? Looking good for
You
Ross,
can,
bro.
thanks, man.
You're-
I'm on a budget all the time. Cheers to living
Free
on a budget.
shirts?
Free shirts, yes, we match. We are not sponsored by Jameson,
We're
but if
not.
anybody's out there and you work with them, excellent product.
Ching.
Excellent product.
Even though we're shooting tequila, it's okay.
We did shoot tequila.
We're really sending a
It's-
mixed message.
We are. So, all right. How many
Bring it back.
hours are you into your yoga certification?
A lot.
A lot of
Half.
hours. Half already.
It's been, yeah. We're
How
we're
long
doing
have you been doing
midterms.
it?
Since January.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's moving. Oh, because it's a semester, right?
Been in April.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then Be Bloomed is growing. Cody's been crushing the social media marketing. You've been doing an awesome job with that. I'm
Thanks,
horrible at it. And you keep sending me resources. I feel like I may have more on my plate than I should right now, but I'm going to make it happen because I'm orange, the color 4 lenses. I will be certified to teach that, by the way. And I am not a planner, and I like to just do things and figure out how I'm going to make it work as I go. So
Right.
I operate best under pressure.
Sure.
So, and that's why these are never scripted. So
Not at all.
not
even a little bit.
Cody was like, "Hey, do you want to prepare?" And I was like, "Don't be ridiculous."
Yeah.
That's the most outrageous thing.
Belly laughing. He was holding his gut, throwing his head back. I mean, he was just like, "Who is it? How dare you? How dare you suggest
What's
that?"
planning?
Right.
Well, I just meant like, because sometimes people have an idea like what they might want the episode to be about, but no. But
This is strictly about you guys, man, and
No, it's
all
fun.
the good things you have going on.
it's fun to wing it. But you do a good job at podcasting it, like having these conversations is like a crazy. I think Joe Rogan's talked about this. Other people have talked about this. It's a crazy art form to be able to have this conversation and do it well.
I mean, it's probably outside of poetry. This is probably my tied for first favorite thing that I do. I love this, and I got to collaborate with 2 amazing people yesterday that just
Who?
like way above me. So Rockstar Dadpreneur is Luke Watkins. That was my 8 o'clock.
Rockstar dadpreneur.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, he's cool, man. We had an amazing conversation, so we'll have the footage of that coming soon. And then in the afternoon, I met with Benny Ruiz, and he has 4 jobs. He's got his regular day job, and then he's also the owner and CEO of Unique Apparel. And so we actually shot the first episode at Shades of Pale Brewing, but it was so loud in there that the audio didn't pick up well, so we moved to a coffee shop, and then we ended up, total time with him was probably about an hour and a half of content that we came up with, and it's good stuff, so be on the lookout for that. I just spliced the videos together today, so I'm going to get them uploaded tonight, so it should be out tomorrow. But it's fantastic.
I think the key is, though, inspiring. Like, you don't need to have a brick and mortar business to inspire people with the media we have these days. Right?
Oh, no, not at all.
So I think
Absolutely
if you can inspire, that's what can set you apart, because that's what I like. I mean, if I see something, I'm into it because it inspires me in some way.
Absolutely.
To get off my butt and do something I'm not doing.
Well, and that's really the goal of this show, is to share great ideas, to expose people to people like you guys who are living a positive and healthy lifestyle and maybe have different ideas than the mainstream, but you're proof that they work, and they work in healthy, productive ways. And you guys add value, positive value to our community. And that's at the end of the day what it's all about, right? And as the scope of influence grows, your guys' influence will grow, mine will grow, and we'll just continue to be making positive changes in society. And that's really starting with one person at a time, and then it just ripples out, right?
So remember what I was talking about today about inspiring out in the community? Like, she has a potential to go teach yoga for like a company called Pluralsight. They have a headquarters down at Station Park in Farmington here.
Awesome.
My brother, he works with them, and he was saying that they're going to be probably looking for another yoga instructor when they expand. I think when they expand, or anyways. So she has an opportunity to go to these companies and teach their employees yoga. Also at potentially ES Solar. They have a new headquarters, and they talked to us about doing yoga there. I just talked to Lucky Slice about going there, and
like
on their off hours, an employee move the chairs out of the way, the tables. Like Step Brothers have plenty of room for activities.
Yes, absolutely, man.
So we can get out there and help people, because what do we say about today? You said on the way home, it's like we're grinding our gears at this freaking awesome, but like just crazy dance competition. It was incredible. I got lots of good footage. Yeah. And we were getting home, and we're cleaning. The house wasn't that bad, but there was dishes and stuff. We're cleaning, the kids. We got Drew coming over, but
I was like, I need to do yoga.
But you said on the way home, if we just do a practice, it'll give me a good headspace, and it does. It freaking does. You can't explain it, but it does. But the point is, we got home. We were doing doing our thing, trying to pull it together, and I lit that sage, with that Palo Santo wood. It kind of fills the room full of this really negative energy clearing aroma. Put on some like crazy hippie flute music, man.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and you're still kind of feeling that tinge of that stress, but then once you start going to that yoga and you really get into it, remember what I said about really trying to connect with the solar plexus energy center?
Right.
She talked about this flow being all about the end, that solar plexus energy center.
Yep.
Yellow.
And what we're talking, can you talk a little bit about what it means to really connect with that during your practice?
Well, it helps you realize what lights your inner fire, what makes you shine and glow in the world.
So how do you, because I tried to be mindful of that, and I tried to focus on those things. Yoga is incredibly difficult for me, because I'm not flexible. I'm a brute. I'm good at being strong for a few reps. That's what I'm good at. And because of that, I have a very tight, I'm tight like a tiger, right? Tight like a tiger. But you guys are able to be going from like a plank position to putting your foot in between your hands, and I'm getting like below my hip if I'm lucky. So there's
your posterior chain, that backside from all that squatting and
tight.
It's super strong. Like you can freaking pull a freaking truck. Right?
I can,
but but when it comes to like really being pliable, like folding this way towards your feet.
Yep. And I'm dealing with a pulled hamstring from capoeira class 3 weeks ago now. And I've been trying to go easy on it and let it rest, but I still need to squat once a week to keep my foundation, and I'm still doing capoeira, and I'm still practicing my handstands, and this yoga practice with you is very helpful for me because it does help loosen me up. And it's something, I can't do this by myself. Like, I get so bored, and like I'll be like, I'm gonna stretch, and I get like 30 seconds in, and I'm like, this is dumb. This is dumb. I'm so done. I'm done. I can't do it. So to be invited here and to do this with you is awesome. But the whole point of that ramble was to get to the fact that it's very hard for me to be mindful of focusing on an energy center when I'm like, my hips are going to crack in half and I can't breathe right now because I'm my version of a pretzel.
So talk to him about that. Ease. Yoga's about
pushing
ease and effort.
and yielding. So it's important. Equal parts effort and ease. You want to push, but not to push too hard. You never want to feel pain.
That hurts.
Then don't.
I am so tight everywhere.
So what she's saying is there is a modification for every single move that you can do. That it's not killing you. It's challenging, but not killing you. But so you can free up that, like you said, you're just like, I'm agonizing, so I can't put my body awareness on my energy center, right? But if you free yourself up just enough, like, because you want to, he's bending that far over. I want to bend that far over.
For so long.
So you just bend how far? Sorry, go.
For so long, I always thought there was a perfect pose. Like, I see this vision in my head of how a pose is supposed to look like. Okay. And so for so long, I would always push myself to try and get into that perfect pose. There's no perfect pose. It's perfect for you.
Right.
And so don't try and accomplish a picture perfect pose. Like, so many people on the internet, Instagram, you see them in these contorted postures, and you try and mold yourself into that. It's not going to work.
Well, and anybody that's doing stuff like that has been doing yoga like their whole life, right?
Or they're just built differently. We learned
Tigi-tron.
we learned the other day there's
so flexible.
She's
like
so
20 different types of hips.
Really?
Hip sockets, like the way they're shaped, the way how deep they go in. Like, everyone is built so different, so you can't compare yourself. So what you need to do is feel inwardly, like push to the point where you can, but then yield so that it's not painful and you're not hurting yourself, and you find the current of energy, and you fall into that perfect posture for you. And every day is going to be different.
Absolutely. Just like lifting weights for me is like, I know I kind of have a baseline of strength and there's numbers that I can hit all the time, but when I'm on a plus 10% day, I can add 50 or 60 pounds to a lift. Whereas if I'm in a minus 10 day, my normal foundational level of strength is going to be a grind. And I know you know that with your WODs and things like that, and obviously with yoga for you too. So that actually reigns out into many different aspects of life. And so again, making yoga applicable to a life practice. You challenge yourself during a yoga session and you learn and unlock achievements within your own psyche and mentality and your spirit and your body, and you can carry those into your work day. You carry those into your personal life and your relationships and everything else that you do to just be a better all-around human for all of the people that are in your life. And that's really, I think, what it's all about, isn't it?
Well, even like this, when like the...
You want to read it?
Yeah, read it out.
Okay. So the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus, means the city of jewels and symbolizes the qualities that affect how we manifest ourselves in the world. It represents the fire element, and it's about how we stoke our inner fire and thereby glow in the world. Balancing our solar plexus chakra helps us find a balance of confidence and humility that enables us to more instinctively establish respectful and comfortable relationships. Being assertive without being aggressive, determined without being forceful, we can more easily come to emotional balance. We find a sense of greater radiance by moving more from our core, and the Manipura gives you your warrior energy and the power of transformation.
Can I read some of that again? Because it's like, this is powerful stuff.
Yeah,
So, balancing our solar plexus chakra helps us find a balance of confidence and humility. And that's key, because there is a big difference between being humble and arrogant. You can still be confident and humble, and in my opinion, those are the people that I respect most of all.
Absolutely.
And that's just a kind of approach to other people that is really, and it's appropriate, and that's how we should be. So, respectful and comfortable relationships. Instinctively establish respectful and comfortable relationships through that confident humility. And respect for the person, no matter who you're interacting with, is always a positive thing, right? And that will help you overcome a lot of stereotypes and bias and preconceptions that you might have of other people just based on anything. We don't even have to get in specifics there. Being assertive without being aggressive, determined without being forceful. I think there is so much effort today being put into conditioning our society to take an individual's assertive response to circumstances as aggression.
Right.
Which there is undermining our ability to have a truthful and honest and open communication and dialogue with other people, especially when it comes to other people that have differing ideas from us. And the more that this is successful and it's working constantly, and you can see that in the media and the news and everything else, it's an outrage mentality. I'm furious. It's the only valid emotion that we have. But you talk to other people on a one-on-one level, and they could be from a completely different background than you, and I'm exhausted with how angry everyone is. I am exhausted with how much outrage there is. I know that we can work together, because we all know that it takes a team to be successful in business, at home, wherever you are, but there is a ton of profit in getting us to think that we are alone. So being assertive without being aggressive and determined without being forceful is incredibly important, because if you're not assertive, you're going to get walked all over. But again, people take that as aggression. So I know you've been working on that since I've met you, kind of. And I haven't known you your whole life or anything, but I never took your assertions as aggression. But it sounds like there are people at your job and people that you interact with that kind of maybe have felt that way in the past.
Yes. So, but the problem in the past was just me. It was just me not understanding what you just read there, right? About being assertive without being aggressive, or
Confident and humble.
Yeah, or like leading without expectation. Like giving without expectation. You know what I mean? And it's just always that balance, man. Like, you have to be aware of yourself and like your tone of voice.
Absolutely.
It's a golden rule, like do unto others, right? Like you know how everybody knows what being treated well feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So you just remember that and just try and treat other people like that. And you know, you said something about the respect part, about respectful and comfortable relationships. So, dude, how do you be respectful? You know, I had this awesome thought when you read that. You have to learn to see how great somebody is at something and how much better they are at than you are.
Well, that's the strength and diversity.
So, for example, I
think.
see things about you that are so much better than what I do. I see things in you that are so much better than what I do. Like, when I see that in somebody, it's just like it creates this natural respect.
That's something about
humility.
That's something
humility.
About you.
They're better at that than me.
That's
one
of the things that I legitimately respect about you so much is that you're better at a lot of these things than I am. But you also reciprocate that and respect my strengths.
There's a lot of reciprocity.
And we also respect each other's weaknesses in very important ways. Mm-hmm. And speaking of respect, I inadvertently disrespected you the other day. And we don't need to get into the details of what that was.
Okay, yeah.
But I felt awful about that, man, because I crossed a friendship line with you. And yeah, I totally did.
It wasn't a friendship line. No, it wasn't a friendship line at all. No, we're brothers, dude. So like, it was roughhousing and stuff. I was like, man, don't do that. Like, you know, because you know when you get playing around, it kind of incites like, you know, even if you're just like a wrestler. Like if somebody kind of like grabs you in a way, it just kicks in this like this wrestling fight. You know, because I'm a wrestler, I'm a boxer, right? So like if somebody grabs me, it just kicks in this fight instinct. Right. And I'm like thinking that about people. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna like try and float my own boat. When I'm trained, and I know it hurts me if I want to. I don't want to hurt somebody on accident, just like a reflex. You know what I mean? I can control it.
You can only hurt me emotionally.
No, but Drew's a big hunk of meat, and he'd be, you know. But my point is, I would not want to. I can defend myself from Drew, but we're such good friends. I don't want to even think about him like that. You see what I'm saying?
No, I totally understand that, man. Because there's nothing but love and harmony.
Right. Yeah.
Well, except for that little bit of discourse for a second there.
No, it's all good. But no joke though. We could put some gloves on and have fun. You know, like I know.
See, I'm too slow for it to be fun. You just be tagging me left and right, and I'd get mad, and I'd throw a big right, and you'd be down.
Oh, it happens.
And then I'd cuddle you, and then we would spoon.
It comes to the territory. I'd wake up. I'd come to. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you're damn right.
It's a great way to come to.
I am comfy. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, they modeled body pillows after me.
He's so muscly.
It's a big deal.
It's like a python hugging you.
It's
like a whole bunch of pythons mating on top of you.
Just a snake ball.
Yeah. Oh my god. Can you imagine?
No.
It's hot.
All right, so Kayla,
yes.
Final question to you.
Oh.
What?
It's calling.
Oh god. Oh god. Well,
I love it.
This has been great. This has been great. So last time we talked, I asked you, because I always close out with the same question of, if you could tell society anything, what would it be to bring people closer together? But we're not doing that today. If you have a foundational principle for your healthy and happy relationship with Cody within your guys' marriage that you think could help other people in a relationship, what one piece of advice would you give them to help them strengthen and overcome a lot? Because a relationship is work, and a relationship, when you're one person, life is pretty easy. For the most part, life is pretty easy because you just do you. And if you're taking care of yourself, like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, and you're single, I mean, you kind of have a life that a lot of people are kind of jealous of in a lot of ways, you know? Even so. So once you add a second person to that, and you guys have, I mean, you have 3 other people, because you guys and then the 2 kiddos. But when you add a second person to that, life becomes a lot of compromise and intelligent discourse, I think might be a fair thing to say. So what would you like to tell other people? Maybe they're just young newlyweds, or maybe they're just getting into a relationship, or maybe they've been together for 15, 20 years. What would you say to them?
I think balance and respect are two most important things. I mean, balance, taking time for yourself and making time for the other person, making sure that you have time together, not being afraid to put yourself first sometimes, and then just respecting the other person's behaviors, views, and yeah.
So balance and respect. How have you guys always been so supportive of the self-care and self-love that is so critical to a healthy relationship? Or is that something that you've had to learn together on your journey?
No, I think it's always been that way for us. Like, she's always respected me, like, because I was working out when you met me.
Mm-hmm.
She always respected my self-care. And, you know, I may have inadvertently, like, disrespected it at times because I was so ignorant in my earlier years. Like, I'm so lucky that she, like, you know, held on to me through that. I mean, it was never, like, abusive or anything. It's just lack of mindfulness. But bring that mindfulness in, man, it just changes everything. Because women want you to be mindful of them.
Absolutely.
Women want you to be mindful of them, and you have to. So that's one piece of advice. The other one is, like I said earlier, look at them and really drop that identity, that ego. I don't care if you can kill an elk. You look at your wife, and you look at her, look at her and say, she is way better at that thing than me.
Why did you pick killing an elk?
I
have to know, because that's really out there.
First guy
no, it's not out there.
thing.
It's the first manly thing that came to my mind. It's like getting out there and killing a freaking bull elk, right?
I can think
that's
of
a cool
5
skill.
other things off the top of my head.
Okay. Anyways, that's a really manly skill, right? So that I figured.
Can do it.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, if you're a guy who, like, you know, you're all about, like, being a guy and stuff, which is cool. I think that elk hunting is really fascinating.
Also, elk are delicious.
Absolutely.
So
nothing bad about that whole lifestyle. Just sometimes you forget to look at your little housewife and realize how much more powerful she is than you in some other ways, right? Because as equally powerful as you are as going there and killing that beast and bringing it home to eat for your family, the wife is also very powerful in these other ways that you are not. And if you can see that in them, it's like, you
empower each other.
Instead of because it gets into a point where you're, like, kind of looking down on them. I want to always be looking up at her,
without putting them on a pedestal, because that turns into a negative quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there is a big difference between putting a person on a pedestal and having a respect to the individual and acknowledging that I'm choosing to be in a relationship with this person, and they bring so much value into my life that I am elevated, and we are elevated because we make this decision together.
Perfect.
Because if you put someone on a pedestal, then they're fearful of not.
Well,
then you're setting expectations.
Yeah. You don't subjugate yourself, right? Yeah, that's what you're saying. You don't want to put something up where it subjugates you. That's not at all I'm saying. Yeah,
right.
But if we get to this point as men and manly men, you know that stereotype I'm talking about. You can tend to, like, look down on your wife subconsciously without realizing it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you're doing it purposefully, but if you can see those ways that bring her up, you're right. It also brings you up.
Absolutely, man. And there's a reason that you chose to be in the relationship with that person, right? It's because they brought some value into your life, and if you're blessed and you're mindful, you are continuing to grow and increase that value exponentially as time goes by.
It's powerful, man. And with trying to build our Be Bloomed yoga school and studio, because we're both equally driven by it.
Absolutely.
It's like the combination of, you know, both people being super motivated. You get this, like, ultra mega laser focused motivation. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome.
I love it. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I think that was a great conversation.
Sure.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I talked more this time.
Heck yeah, give me some. Boom. That's what's up.
I tried to shut up a little
It's
more
the
this time.
tequila.
It was... He left him hanging. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
That's it. No, that's it. Took care of me, bud.
We love you guys. Get out there.
Peace.
Do something you're afraid of. Get out of your comfort zone. Live your life intelligently, intentionally, and immediately. Love you.
Be bloomed.
Boom.